carousel hogs. They're the ones who get up really close to the carousel, even though there's plenty of time and plenty of room elsewhere to get cases, and they ignore that line. I do like whacking them on the shins when I get my case in those instances. I'm a bad man. 25% of people also don't like the cougher. Now, there's no place at the airport to spread germs and disease by coughing, so cover up your mouth. 24% of people don't like people who rush to the gate. 18% of people with too much liquid. They knew they were going to have to throw the toiletries away at the security, but they still took it anyway, because obviously they don't look like a terrorist. This one really upsets me too. People who block the main walkways, and 15% of people would also agree with me. They just seem to stop and then stare. They never move over to one side to stare. They have to stare in the middle. Of course, this one's really annoying, especially if you don't have a boarding pass. If you work at the airport, it's the cashiers asking for your boarding passes. And that's 13% of people get upset with that. 12% of people, I would have thought this would have been higher, which is passport control. And it can be a real pain, especially when you come back into Luton Airport. 11% of people, the first lad's holiday. Oh, I've seen no end of these. And screaming and shouting and drinking, and all getting very upbeat, and you can tell it's the first time I've been somewhere without their parents. 10% of people don't like people who stand on moving walkways. I don't like that either. They're there to make you walk quicker, not just to stand there and be transferred from A to B. Will Self did a feature on this in a magazine a few weeks ago. It's quite funny. I don't like Will Self, but I had to agree with him about people who just stand still on walkways. 9% of people who consistently offer taxis. That's when you land at somewhere and somebody keeps coming on saying taxi, taxi, taxi. I was at a networking event once, and I went on about a scam at Rome, about people coming up to you when you're waiting for your luggage, offering you taxis, and they've got a nice laminated card with prices and stuff. They're not taxis. They are people trying to earn a few quid. You're going to be safe, but you're going to be paying more than you need. And probably you won't actually be dropped outside the hotel, because they will be reported for dropping you outside the hotel, so they'll drop you around the corner. Only get taxis from taxi ranks. Ignore anybody who comes up to you offering a taxi. The judge. Actually, I am a judge when it comes to this particular one. 8% of people who judge people for having a beer for breakfast just and commenting because it's only 5 a.m. in the morning. Well, I'm sorry, I'm like that. I just recognise myself in that one altogether. Over keen security upsets 8% of people. Yes, everybody at UK airports has to go through security. It's not like America where some people don't have to if they work at the airport. Everybody who works at an airport past security has to go through security. So they've had to go through the same things as you, and sometimes they can be a bit job's worth, but just bear with it. Also, 8% of people don't like people who try and blag an upgrade. I've got long legs. I always try and sit in an exit seat, and I sit there and I listen to people come up to the flight attendant. It's my honeymoon. It's my birthday. Can I have a flight upgrade? And if you're flying somewhere like Antigua in the summer, there's probably a dozen or so brides and grooms on that plane, all wanting an upgrade. Not everybody's going to get it. Stop asking. If you want a good seat, pay for it. 6% of people, the PDA company, it's called the PDA couple. Is it entirely necessary to be passionately making out in between the not so muted sobs and proclamations of love in departures? So that's it. PDA couple is the couple who can't keep their hands off each other. And 6% of people who use all the power outlets for their phones, their computers and everything. There's not that many to go around. Don't use them all. Share them. So there we go. If you want to know more, go to justaflight.co.uk and look for the media section. And there's a nice, bright, colourful infographic that goes through the 21 people that annoy people at airports. If there's somebody I've missed out from this list, don't tell justtheflights.co.uk. Tell me, and I'll add it next show to say I did 21, but actually there's 34. Anyway, facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Who really annoys you at airports and on planes? You can keep up to date with travel news and leave me a message at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Still to come in the travel news section is the competition from the best leading city break destination in Europe. Where, I've already mentioned it earlier in the show, what do you have to do? It's very simple. So simple I shouldn't be sharing it with you because it make it less likely for me to win. But anyway, a simple and easy competition to enter for a free night in the best leading city break destination in Europe, as rated by the World Travel Awards for the past 2 years. And that's still to come later on in the show. To some, travel is all about adventures and meeting new people, but things when you travel can get tedious, such as booking the flights and packing. Fastcover.com.au has scoured the internet for the best travel hacks for 2016. They should have just gone to johnguinn.me and they would have found a load. But anyway, here are some. Some of these I don't list on johnguinn.me, some I do. I wasn't listed as a source for any of this. That's a bit upsetting. But anyway, here we go. So the first section is to save cash when booking. According to this website, book a flight on a Tuesday or Wednesday or the weekend for the cheapest fare. You can save money on flights by deleting browser's cookies from your browser history. For accommodation, you could try Airbnb or check out hostels because they can be fancier than expected. And with travel insurance, buy as soon as possible to get the most protection out of any cancellation covered under your policy. And shop around to make sure you get the best cover and the best competitive price. But as I say, when it comes to insurance, always check the cover before you check the price. Then they got some preparation hacks. Put everything on hold. Suspend your health insurance, gym membership, pay TV and save pounds. But they've got Australian dollars here. I'm pretty sure you can't suspend any of this stuff, but you never know. You can always try. You have to tell everybody that you're going away as well, so notify your bank and enable global roaming and turn off message bank and data on your phone. If you're going to go full gadget geek, pack a power cord and charge so you can charge all your gadgets at once. That's a 4-way extension lead. Oh, never go without one of them. Bring spare USB cables and charge your electronics using airport TVs. I've not tried that yet, but maybe. Take a cable that connects your phone or tablet to the TV so you can watch Netflix on the hotel's room's TV. If you haven't got much space in your suitcase, you can help to pack stuff in by rolling your clothes instead of folding. Store socks and underwear or electronics in your shoes. And take older clothes that you're happy to donate or throw away once you finish using them on holiday. Now, while you're in transit, always make sure you've got a pen on you so you can fill out the arrival forms. Make your luggage easier to find by accessorising with tag stickers and some bling. But do be careful because sometimes it can get caught in the conveyor belts and the carousel, so don't go mad. Take an empty water bottle with you so you can fill up with the water fountains at the airport. Not every airport does this. Luton Airport does. But if you're not looking, you're never going to see them. And pack a set of clothes in your carry-on just in case your suitcase is lost. Now to get around like a local, use local ATMs for the best exchange rates. Buy a local mobile SIM card for calls and data. Use review apps on your phone to find good places for a good meal. Download offline maps from Google Maps or Maps.me and use Uber to get around for taxis. And now home time hacks. Ask for a late checkout. Not always possible, but it's worth asking for. Google your flight number and confirm that your flight's going to happen. And don't cry because you're on your way home. Start planning your next trip. To say there's plenty of travel tips at johnguinn.me if you want to find out more. If there's any tips you have, you can share them at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show, or you can make a comment at johnguinn.me.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, I'm checking in for my flight.
Lovely. Business or pleasure?
Holiday.
And where will you be staying?
With my parents, they live over there.
Lovely. Travel insurance?
Oh, no thanks.
Have you got travel insurance?
No.
Checked to see if you need any vaccinations?
No.
Checked out the local laws?
No, look. Why do I need to know all this? I'm just staying with my parents.
Is either of your parents A local lawyer or the chief of police, B fabulously wealthy, C the owner of a private plane with its own fully trained medical staff, or D none of the above?
D?
Lovely. Are you a superhero and in fact immortal?
Things can go wrong on holiday abroad, even if you're staying with family. So check it out before you check in. Find out more at gov.uk/know-before-you-go.
Checking it out before you check in on the John Guinn Travel Show on ukhealthradio.com. Travel etiquette. Some know all about it, some don't, and others are just plain rude. Lizzie Post, who's a co-host of the Awesome Etiquette podcast, gave travelandleisure.com some tips on travel etiquette. So the question is, if you check your bag at the curb, should you tip? And Lizzie says, yes, the idea is that these people are helping you and they're getting your bags to where they need to be. It's one of those places where we tend to say thank you when somebody is handling their luggage. Question, if you're about to miss a flight because of the line, is asking to cut an option? And Lizzie says, no, it's not an option. If you politely ask everyone in line if you can go ahead of them because your flight is about to leave, fine, but for the most part it just doesn't matter. You really need to get into your head that every single person in line could potentially have the story you have. Security doesn't care. It's not because they're heartless people, but literally every person in line is in the same situation. Security deals with so much of this that it's not going to happen. You can always make the attempt, but understand that nobody is obligated to entertain the request. So, the question is, how prepared should one get in the security line? Lizzie says, I'll wait until after they check my ticket and ID. When you're standing in line to go through the scanner, I think it's fine to be prepared as much as you want to be. I wouldn't be watching something on my phone and not oblivious. I'd make sure my liquids bag is out and ready to go, or computer and liquids bag. I've usually got my coat draped over my arm. Sometimes I've taken off my shoes. Whatever it is, be as prepared as possible so you're ready. A favourite question of mine, is it okay to buy smelly food to bring onto the plane? Lizzie says no. She also goes on to say apparently bananas have an offensive odour to a lot of people, which she said she has no idea, and they sell bananas just about everywhere in the airport. I think you need to be conscious of the food you bring, avoid sushi, avoid strong smelling meats. Be aware of the fact that smells can really have an impact on people, and you're essentially trapping them with that smell. And the final question I'm going to have from this article is, any tips for parents with kids waiting at the gate? Lizzie says, kids running around. It's an interesting conundrum. In some ways, I'd really rather have that child running around in the gates area and getting energy out before boarding. I think it's healthy. I think it's good, but when their running around starts to be overwhelming to the people around them, I think parents need to keep them in check. I think they need to be careful and aware of people around them. If you've seen a lot of scowls or your kid steps on someone's foot or steps on someone's bag, you need to bring them in and remind them that there are other people present. You need to take the temperature out of the atmosphere around you. Is it good for this kid to be releasing this energy? And if you want to read the full article, that's probably going to make more sense than me reading it out, visit www.travel-leisure.com/travel-tips/travel-etiquette/how-to-behave-at-the-airport. Of course, facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show will also have the link. You're listening to The Travel Show with John Guinn on ukhealthradio.com. Now for another article I found at Travel and Leisure, which they found somewhere else. Actually found it on Mail Online Travel. Where you sleep can increase your chances of survival in the event of emergency. A travel trip I like to share to people, especially when they're staying at nice high-rise hotels, is never stay on a hotel floor that is higher than the tallest ladder at the local fire brigade. And I'm not alone on this. Apparently, Rob Walker, Head of Information and Analysis at International SOS, which is based in London, also agrees on that. He told the Mail Online Travel which rooms are the best to book for a better chance of survival in the event of a fire, attack or a disaster. If travelling in the USA, it does say that choose a room above the first or second floors that lower than the 6th or 7th. Well, the 6th or 7th lower then, because I already mentioned, is the ladder. And the other two, the first and second, above that you're out of the way of burglars, but low enough that you would survive if you needed to jump in the event of a fire or anything else. Walker said, we also recommend travellers request rooms on the side of the building further away from the lobby, which is likely to be the main entry point for any attacker. It is preferable to also choose the side away from other public areas such as hotel restaurants, as those areas can be a target area, and the rooms are not so easily accessed from the street, so as not